Arthur Mayer writes, at the end of his career, do you think Patrick Stewart will be remembered more for Professor X or Jean-Luc?
That is a really, really good question. And I think it's a question better answered 5 years from now. My guess would be Picard. I mean, we saw him as Professor X 5 times. Maybe 6. I'm not counting.
You can't count X-Men Wolverine Origins because that was like a CG version. Like, come on, get into the plane.
Come on, kids.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a strange old man asking us to come into his vehicle.
He
in
looks
the
like
middle
3D.
Of the woods.
He doesn't look real. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with this picture. So we may have seen Patrick Stewart as Professor X like 5 or 6 times, but we saw him as, Captain Jean-Luc Picard for 7 years. And I don't know, 400 episodes or 500 episodes. And he was so iconic in the role. I mean, before that show, you never could say, well, who will become the captain in the Star Trek? Look, Captain Picard gives Captain Kirk a run for his money in terms of popularity. I think there was a big Star Trek poll actually once about who's the captain you want on your ship, Captain Picard or Captain Kirk. And actually Captain Picard won. So I got to believe in the long, long term, I think he will be most remembered for Captain Picard. But I mean, how many actors get to have that dilemma where which iconic character, beloved iconic character that I play that people remember me most for? That's an awesome, Mark.
I mean, it's the same thing with somebody like Harrison Ford. Whenever they do pass away, their obituary, it's both characters are going to be in the first paragraph. Right. It's not going to be like, oh, he played Professor X. Then way at the bottom, it's like, oh, he was also in Star Trek, I think, too, right?
So Han Solo and the dude from Working Girls.
And Mosquito Coast is where I was going.
Right.
Witness.
But I think that I'm going with Picard too. I'm giving the slight edge to Picard because I think that you knew who Professor X was before the X-Men movies were made. You knew him from the comic book page, and it was such a popular comic book that everybody knew these illustrations of Professor X that they saw. He brought it to life in an incredible way. But Jean-Luc Picard, I never saw an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Sorry, never seen one. But I'm aware totally of who that guy is. He just seeped into the pop culture biosphere in such a way that that's always what I think people are going to think first when they think Patrick Stewart.
I always say they're going to think Gurney from Dune. But no, I mean, you know what? To me, it's Jean-Luc Picard. I know Ashley loves Jean-Luc Picard. It's her favorite character.
Big fan of French astronauts.
I am.
But
I love him.
For me, Jean-Luc Picard, I love him as Professor X. When I first heard he was playing Professor X, it was like, no brainer, he's bald. Just like everybody. He's like, it should be Bryan Cranston, it should be Lex Luthor, he's bald. Ah! It's like, because it's a bald person, whatever. I get it. You instantly like, look, he's bald. He'll work. I get it. You can shave your head too, but don't worry about that. It just made to everybody. Everyone's like, just like Jack Nicholson as a Joker. There's certain things that you're just like, that just makes sense. So Jean-Luc Picard, that's when we all got introduced to Patrick Stewart he'd already been around for years and years. He'd been in all these different movies, but he nailed it as that guy. He really brought something like real earnest and like you wanted to watch the mission for Star Trek, and you cared about all of his decisions. I mean, with Professor X, he brings that same, almost a similar character, like shepherding these kids. It's the same thing as like kind of like being in control of the Enterprise.
It's that calming influence that you need, and his voice, his accent really helps that. And Campia brought up a great point before we went live. It's like, okay, his name's Jean-Luc Picard, right? And again, never seen an episode, so maybe this got explained in episode 137. They totally went into his backstory. Why is his name French, and why does he have a British accent?
And his family is totally like hardcore French.
Because you meet the family in an episode of the
Next Generation. His brother Robert, in the French hillsides, growing wine grapes. That's what his family did. He's got this totally British
Maybe that's why they sent him off in outer space. Like, if you're not going to talk like us.
Right. Why you're not talking like us? So this is my French accent. Hey, where's my croissants, huh? Get my croissants over here. Get this Picard out of here. Get him on a spacer ship.
It's New York Italian.
Hey, everyone. If you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.